You weren't here last week.
I wasn't.
What happened?
Oh, my goodness. I've actually listened to that episode twice.
Why?
I wanted to know where it all went wrong. I couldn't pinpoint
It went wrong about 2 hours beforehand when you're like, boys, I can't make it.
do it. Yep. Oh, man. It's terrible of me because there was like so many moments during my wife's labor where I was like, I could duck home. Yeah, I could duck home.
Yeah.
Jump
She
in
would know.
Discord. She's had an epidural. She'll probably be pain free. Maybe a little whacked out. Maybe if I just whisper in a doctor's ear and just be like, hey, can you throw a little extra on the next pain relief? I just need a little 2-hour window. And he'll be like, what on earth are you talking about? I'll be like, it's for my podcast. He's like, what is it? So like okay. So do you know like toy soldiers? Imagine those that you paint and then you play with. He's like, wait. I'm going to stop you right there. Are you from Hobby Homies?
It's like, I knew it. I can tell the voice.
Yeah. Are you Fox? Church has got to be around here somewhere, right? Shane's not far. Hang on, I'm going to go find him. No, wait. Give her the trucks. He comes back and he's like, all right, I got you 4 hours. Go. I've never seen that doctor. Yeah, never seen that doctor again. So yeah, that's where I was.
Yep.
But you guys had fun. I learned a lot about rabbits.
So do we, man.
Yeah.
I thought I knew everything to know about rabbits, seeing as I have a pet rabbit.
Yeah. Nah.
Lethal just dropping straight facts.
Straight in there.
Yeah.
They don't call him Lethal for no reason.
Oh, no.
I had a brainwave the other day. I think his name might be Lee.
No, get out of here, dude.
And if it is, that's a very cool play on words. And if it's not, well, it's just a cool name anyways.
Yeah, true.
Could also be his entire name.
Might be.
Lethal.
Maybe his parents were confused.
Euthanasias.
Yeah, sure.
Euthanasists. Despite my time in a hospital, I am no wiser on medical procedures.
You looked the part, though, dude. We saw you in the scrubs.
Yeah. I don't know why they let me in there. I begged not to go. I was like, "Oh, are you sure? I don't want to I don't want to get in the way." They're like, "No, it's fine." I'm like, "Are you sure? I don't want to get in the way." They're like, "No, we do this all the time. Like literally every person." I'm like, "Surely some people get in the way and it causes issues." And they're like, "No, man, come in." Sarah's like, "Yeah, it's good. You can come in." So, yeah, that was horrifying.
Because you didn't bribe them, dude.
I ran out of money because of the first guy.
The first doctor. Yeah, right.
So that's what's up.
Of course.
It's now got a small human.
Yeah.
Which I'm teaching it tricks slowly.
Okay.
So far, it just knows how to shit itself, which is kind of like, I guess it's more like a squid than a human at this stage.
True.
I don't know if it's a defense mechanism, but
I think it is, yeah.
So that's cool. I'll build from that.
Nice.
If they can do it on command, I think I've won.
It's like, child, shit.
If I ever want to leave, yeah. Or like leave the room or, there's a conversation I don't like, I can be like, Derek Mokhtaras.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
and it would just be like, yeah. And then, sorry, what did you just whisper in that kid's ear?
It sounded Rylechian, dude. Anyways,
this is Hobby Homies.
This is Hobby Homies. We are your weekly wargame and board game podcast. My name's Shane, joined by my co-host, Fox.
Guten Tag.
And Churchy behind the screen.
Back in the void.
Back in the void where he belongs. He ain't coming out again. Oh, no.
We put the lock back on the cage.
True.
And he is staying in there.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So, this week, we're jumping back in the old hobby corner.
That's my favourite corner, actually.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
The bars are in the hobby corner.
Yeah.
The fridge is just by our knees.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Metaphorically, that's the word, yeah.
Yeah.
It's more like a state of mind than a physical place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, dude.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I spent days working on that.
And I see on the notes that's all you brought. The rest is just me. Oh, God.
Yeah, so we're back in the hobby corner and we're talking about... What are we talking about?
Taking hobby risks.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
This is something that came to us in a dream because we have boring lives and this is all we dream.
Yeah.
So I've noticed recently with myself that I rarely took hobby risks. And what we mean by hobby risks are things that you've rarely done before, like a new skill or something that you've never tried. The risk involved with it is that you could completely ruin a model, which might have been expensive or might have taken you a lot of time to paint up to a standard. An example is, like, I did a marine for one of our Patreons, and it took me a fair while to like build up the ultramarine. I did edge highlight. I basically finished the model, and then I was going to do like intense weathering on it for the first time ever. Now, if I mess up that weathering, that model's cactus.
Oh yeah, hours gone.
Yeah, and I was almost like in my same old stuck place where I was like, maybe I just don't do it. Maybe I don't take the risk. I give him this model. It looks sweet, but it didn't really suit because we ask our Patreons to like. Our OGs.
Yeah, give us like a theme or
an idea.
An idea, yeah.
Totally.
And his was a lone marine on a orc planet.
Yeah.
That was like struggling to stay alive. So his armor's going to look pretty ordinary.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that as well. Like, just after talking about it, we all get in these like safe spots, right? Where we do the same thing because we know it's safe, because it works. You know, it gets to the level we're happy with.
Yeah.
The hobby risk involved is taking that one next level. So it could be something like intense weathering, like you were doing, Fox, or it could be something like blending or like insane highlighting. Like, it's just something that you don't do because you're not scared, but you're like apprehensive of doing it to ruin, like you said, expensive model, something you've sunk hours into. Yeah. So yeah, we've both got some like risks we've taken, especially recently. I think our hobby game has just jumped like exponentially especially since we've been doing these Patreon models.
Yeah.
Like, it's forcing us to put more effort in and to get out of these little ruts that you get into. Yeah.
And the benefit of like doing those models is we can pour some hours into them, and we know we just got to do the one per person. But, you know, we're not going to have to do something that takes us 6 hours and then we got to do it another 30 times just for our troop choice of an army.
True.
You know? So, yeah, I've noticed that every time and this is probably why it's important to take hobby risks and why I'm going to start trying to force myself to do it, is that like, I feel like every time you do it, even if you fail, your level of hobby skill is just increased exponentially.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like you're bursting through the ceiling. It's like that scene. What is that? Where he's got these.
That looks like fisting.
Yeah, it's like you're bursting through the ceiling. Is that 21 Jump Street? I can't remember. Anyways.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it takes your game to a whole nother level. I guess it's kind of like when you go to the gym. If you went to the gym every day and lifted 5 kilo weights like 10 times, your muscles would probably get more defined, but you wouldn't get stronger.
No.
And you will always forever be looking at those people lifting these massive
10 kilo weights.
10 kilo weights, 7 kilo weights, going, man, I wish I could do that. I guess it's just time. No, you got to build your way up to it.
You got to, yeah.
And that's how I view like when I look at those heavy metal or other people's painted models, and I'm like, man, I can't believe they're so good. How'd they get that good? Yeah. It's because they didn't settle on those 5 kilo weights. They picked up the 6, and then the next day they picked up the 7.
Yeah, and you have to fail to keep progressing. You're gonna take that next step, and you're gonna fuck it up, and you're gonna
for sure
be killing yourself saying, why did I do it? But next time you do it again, you're gonna do it better. So yeah.
It was like the other day I'm working on this my rusty boy that I've been showing you.
Oh yeah, your Death Guard.
And that's the first time I've done a heap of things. That's the first time I've done like a lacquer or a hard coat.
Yep.
What do you call it? A varnish.
Yep.
It was the first time I'd then painted over that varnish with an enamel paint. First time I'd used enamel.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, I don't know. And then the first time I then, what do you call it? I put like a cotton bud in some methylated spirits and then stripped away some of that enamel paint I'd put down.
Yep.
So it was showing just the stuff that was under the varnish that I'd sealed up.
Okay, because it didn't take the varnish off.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. So that was a very cool thing. And, it didn't work like I wanted it to, but I learned a lot about the properties of different paints. And just for that little 2-hour session that I had, I learned so much about the use and flow of enamels and how to use that varnish to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Seal one part of your paint and then play around. And you can always bring it sort of back down to that varnish. So that was interesting.
Yeah. And it's probably a good place to practice that on, because like you can pick up plague marines relatively cheap.
Yeah.
It's not like a guardsman or a poxwalker where they're almost given away.
Yeah.
But like you can practice on those models that you can sacrifice, and then when it comes to doing like your plague burst crawler or your fetid blow drones or whatever, like you'll have that skill you've just earned from doing it on these marines.
Yeah. That's a thing I was trying to think of throughout the week is like, how can you, because I said earlier, I want to push myself and take some of these hobby risks. I'm thinking ways I can do that mitigates those risks.
Yeah.
Things like that, buying cheaper models.
Yeah.
You can often pick up a lot of the stuff from the Dark Imperium set, or like a couple of, maybe those $14 guardsmen.
Yeah.
That are like you get 5 of
Or the
three of
Chaos
them.
Cultists or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To try a few different things. I always like to practice techniques on models with similar, I don't know what you'd call it, types.
Yeah.
So like if I'm going to be practicing like power armor or an armor of some kind, I'll practice on one of those easy to build intercessors.
Yeah, yep.
That at home have about 9 coats on them. Because I'm like, I'll try something and then spray it over because like they lose a little bits of the detail, but I'm mostly practicing the armor plates.
Yeah. So you're looking for those flat panels anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which a big old thick coat of primer will smooth it out real quick.
That's it.
I wonder if I strip those down, just how many different colors I would see in the spirits.
That'd be exciting.
And then if it's like cloth or like clothy kind of clothes, leathers, you could use cultists.
Yeah.
If it's like organics, like alien stuff, you could use those little gaunts or poxwalkers. Even better. Yeah.
They're nothing but flesh, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also thought, well, another thing I could do, like what I'm doing with my Death Guard now, is I've got one unit that was quite cheap because it was like it was $23 for 7 Marines.
Oh, yeah.
Which per Marine is pretty good.
Yeah. Was that a split or something, was it?
Yeah, it was
You
just,
bought
I
that?
guess, people that had bought Dark Imperium and then just split it all up and slapped it on eBay.
Yep.
I could try each of the different 7 Marines in sort of a different take of the same scheme and see which works best.
Yeah.
And then the whole squad overall will look quite different, but that squad can have a story that matches that. So
Yeah.
they could be similar to like Death Watch, where it's like, well, these are traitor Plague Marines that have come out of different legions and been adopted into this one, and they're getting put all together. You just make a story for it, and it works.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What are some other things that you think you could do to like mitigate those risks?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Like you can always strip models, right? Like I don't know how many times you could strip a model without starting to take a toll on the model itself.
Yeah.
But like if it's something like you said, we don't need the super fine details. You could have a Marine that's like been stripped 10 times.
Yeah.
And everything's starting to round off and like lose its detail there, and it would still be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Learning to strip models is pretty key.
Maybe buying like, I don't know, just cheap models. Like if someone's selling them on eBay or whatever, like they've got a shit paint job on them, you just strip them off.
Yeah.
Never been stripped once.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough. Like I can't even think of anything that like you could buy that's cheap to practice on. You know what I mean?
Apart from those, those ones we mentioned.
Yeah. You're always going to get a good deal if you're buying from a split.
Yeah.
Like one, I'm pretty sure the going rate for like 5-man intercessors from that Dark Imperium is like $20.
Yeah. There you go.
Which is pretty. $4 a model is pretty reasonable, especially in this hobby.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you consider like you're going to be practicing a technique that you're probably going to try and apply to your whole army, it's certainly worth investing in those test models and sort of fine tuning. Like I do, time your steps, work out which ones like are taking up the most time. If you want to churn them out quickly, if you're more like you and you enjoy going one by one, you probably only need to do like one test model. Hey, it worked.
Yep.
I'll figure the rest out as I go and do little tweaks per model.
Pretty much, yeah.
But what are some hobby risks that you've taken that you feel have like elevated your hobby game?
Yeah, well, just recently I've started like undercoating or base priming, a zenithal base. So I'll prime the model black, and then from a near top down, maybe like less than 45 degrees.
Like 22 degrees?
22.5 degrees.
You can't do it any other way, actually. So please, this is very important. Only try it 22.5 degrees.
Yeah. 23 or 21, no good.
Disgusting.
Yep.
Throw it away.
So I'll prime like with the wraith bone from that angle.
Yep.
And then slap a contrast on it.
Yeah.
And it's actually like I've done one for one of our Patreon, actually for two of our Patreon models now, and it just comes up looking insane.
It does. That one that you showed me.
The turquoise one or the blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
thought you were like starting a new chapter and oh man, I was so
I
excited.
want to.
Yeah.
I want to
You
with
have
that colour.
to.
Yeah.
That would that have taken like could you get that down? You know, if you painted 10 guys and you zenithalled them, slapped 2 coats down, I guess you got to be careful with contrast.
Yeah.
Because if it pulls, when you have to do 2 coats,
Yep.
if it pulls either time,
Yeah. Yeah, you're
it
in
comes
trouble.
through. Yeah. So you got to get real smooth finish.
Yeah, but to be fair, like I didn't really like when I was slapping the contrast on, I wasn't really being like particular about it. I
Yeah.
just slapped it on. I wasn't even thinking about where it's going to pull.
Yeah, wow.
And it came out all right. I may have fluked it. I'm not going
Yeah.
to lie.
Yeah,
I
no,
probably
looked
pulled
good.
it right out my ass. But but yeah, so that's one thing I've been doing, and like I've done it before in the past for terrain
Yeah.
with contrast, and it comes up grouse because
Yeah.
the white only catches on the tops where it would catch light naturally.
Yeah.
And the contrast does its job, man. You don't really need to shade the recesses or highlight anything. I've highlighted like a couple of spots,
Yeah.
like extreme highlights, but that's it.
Yeah, wow.
And
It does look sweet. You sent
Yeah.
it through and I thought you'd airbrushed it.
yeah,
It's like, did Shane go out and get an airbrush? Because it's got that, yeah.
it looks like it's been airbrushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a bit like splattery, like from the spray.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I probably should have gone a bit harder with the zenithal. That was only a real soft zenithal.
Okay.
So a lot of the model is darker than I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But
It works,
it's-
man.
Yeah, I finished it this morning actually. So
Oh, wow. I've got a picture
that
of it
one's
here
going
somewhere.
out to our Patreon.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, yeah,
The and I mean that's a low hobby risk, you know.
yeah.
But,
Oh yeah,
but it's just one of those things that you try,
Yep.
you know, and you've got the model, and if it didn't work, you would just probably strip it and prime over it, try a new
probably.
thing.
Yeah, I would just go on the old standard, non-contrast method.
Yeah, but I think contrasts work. I know it gets a bad rep. I think that's from people that haven't used it
Yeah,
extensively, because I watch people like Juan Hidalgo
Yeah.
with his heavy contrast series and the things that he does with it. You know, it's great. And like that's the Death Guard I'm working on is like almost a contrast only
Yep.
Blanchitsu kind of style.
Yep.
Where you basically contrast the mini, spray it with some grime, remove the enamel. It looks dope.
Yeah.
Looks real dope.
Contrast, it's got its own time and place.
Yeah, it's a tool.
It is. So like, you wouldn't use it on like a display piece, or you
Nah.
might use it only on like select spots. You wouldn't paint an entire miniature with it if you're going for like a really high like realism or high quality paint job.
Yeah.
I think if you wanted that, you would paint with the regular method of what I don't even know what to call it. Like they advertise it as like revolutionary and the new thing.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just another tool that we can utilize for for what we do.
It's like washers.
Yeah.
I find them as useful
Yeah.
as washers,
Yep.
you know? Especially like on that other Plague Marine I did. And I think he looks dope, the first one I did,
Yep.
which was like a different style. And that was all contrast as well. He turns the contrast into glazes and, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more work. But I think for just doing what you did on that model where you go zenithal and put one thick coat over something.
Yep.
Oh, yes, you do have a bottle opener. I was
do.
like eyeing down opportunities.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Two Birds, for sponsoring this episode.
True.
Oh!
it's a boy.
It is a boy. It is a boy.
Nearly wore that. Almost.
Yours was fine.
Yeah. I don't know
just
what's wrong
mine.
with yours.
Yeah. I guess it knew I had a boy.
True.
Okay, this is my second boy this week. Wow, what a week. Because it's so see-through, it really picks up that zenithal highlighting.
Yeah. See, I don't think that style that I've done now, I wouldn't get the same result with any other color.
Nah,
I reckon.
I'm just looking at it, admiring it. Looks good, dude.
I'll send a photo later because I've done the head and everything now, and I'm about to slap it on the base.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't have a head. Didn't even notice. I love his purple belt, dude. His little buckle.
Yeah.
I never noticed
Yeah.
it. That's great.
Yeah. I just
Hobby risks.
threw it
dude.
out there. That's
Yeah,
it, dude.
yeah.
That's the biggest risk I've taken recently. Mm-hmm. I think before that, I've always kept it pretty tame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really blended or
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, you stay between the lines.
I have.
I've been, we've both been pretty much like that.
It's probably held me back in a way because I feel like I should be better than what I am now.
Yeah. Yeah.
After painting for this long.
Mm.
I mean, like, to be fair, it's only been like 4 and a bit years or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
we jump between different things so much.
Yeah.
Doesn't leave a lot of time to paint things.
Nah.
Because we're between games and
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I found myself in the exact same boat. I was like, what risks have I taken? I would say before 2020, next to zero.
Yeah.
You know, I would just follow painting guides from Duncan.
Oh,
Or,
yeah.
You know, or from
And
the
it'd be this-
Apathetic Fish or...
Every paint they use would be like, I got to use that paint.
Yeah.
I had this problem where I'd go into GW and I'd be like, oh, I need a purple. And the guy at the shop would be like, buy these 3 purples. I'd be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
And like, there's no risk there, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I suppose you could think of risks as like trying new paint brands.
Totally.
New,
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
new methods, like a wet palette's not really a risk, but like, I suppose in the long run, like everything you do differently from how you do now
Yeah.
is going to help you progress.
Yeah.
You'll know straight away if something's not going to work for you. And you'll be
Totally.
like, nah, let's not do that.
We held off on wet pellets for a long time.
Yeah. Surprisingly long time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it was different.
Yeah.
We were like, no. We're finally starting to paint models that we think look good and are acceptable. Let us just do this for a little bit.
Yep.
You know, let us just be comfortable here.
Yeah.
And then Rory comes in there with like, hey guys, just try this wet palette. You don't have to like thin your paints. It doesn't like dry out as much. See how like half your thing is covered in paint and you've done one leg and it's all dried out?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
No.
I'm like, just slow down, Rory. It's too much. One thing at a time.
Yeah. Don't peer pressure me, dude.
I'm just learning how to use a wash. And yeah, and then one of those things where we just like branched out, tried it. I think you tried it first, and then when you were like, nah, dude, he's for real. You got to do it. And I was like, well, if you say so. But yeah, it is like that. It's more of a getting out of your comfort zone as well.
Yeah.
You know, because every time you do that, you either fail and learn why you failed and what mistakes you made and how you could do it better.
Yeah.
Or you'll learn that method's not right for you and your paint style.
That's right.
Or not even just painting, but like everything, terrain and building and basing and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Basing is another thing that I've probably taken risks in, like using different, like, mediums and products that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
Like, liquid water, what do you call that shit?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
Liquid water.
liquid water.
Yeah. I think most waters are liquids, actually.
True. True.
Yeah, let me just, I think so. Yeah.
Water effect.
Yeah,
That's the stuff.
Yeah, the old liquid water.
The first time I was using that, I had it in my hand and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
this is it. Like, I think when you have that thought, like, right before you do something, you go, okay, all right, take a deep breath. That's as soon as you do that, you're taking a hobby risk.
Yeah.
Which is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Like we said
Stretch
earlier,
yourself.
you're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
If you can fix it, you're laughing.
Yeah.
If you can't fix it, well, you sort of learn.
Yeah.
And, you know, you'll figure out a way that you should have done it or you can do it next time.
Yeah. There is no hobby mistake that I've made, and I've made tons, that I regret.
No.
Because I know what it led to in my mind. I know that failing that helped me fix it up for the next time, and then I
Yep.
did it on a unit and it looked sick, or it made me go down a different path, which led me to explore something else, which was awesome. So, yeah, I'm going to try and force myself. I'm going to do, because I love his videos, and he has so many, I'm kind of going to pick a different Juan Hidalgo style,
Okay.
well, at least once a month.
Yep.
And just stretch myself doing like, because he's got some cool techniques that he does, or I'll go find a different video that does a similar thing and just try and like explore different things. Because, yeah, I've done that a heap over the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've come leaps and bounds. And now I'm like just doing different things on models that are so far away from what I thought I would have been doing 6 months ago because of those risks. So
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
I'm trying to think of, there was something else that I did that was risky and failed miserably. What was it?
I suppose there's risks involved with everything, like building and magnetizing. Magnetizing is a
Magnetizing.
risk.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
something I started doing, I'd say, late last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as soon as you get the drill and you're like, I'm literally about to drill into this like arm or shoulder or whatever.
Yeah. If I go through the other side.
Yeah,
GG.
that's it. She's
Yeah.
no good.
Yeah.
So that's something that you could consider a risk as well.
Yeah.
You're improving yourself as a hobbyist and your like skills.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I found with magnetizing specifically, there's a lot of room for error.
Yeah.
Even just in something that's quite simple. And it's always something I would recommend over preparing for.
Yes.
Like, I magnetized a heap of zoanthropes so that I could make them either neurothropes or zoanthropes. These are like Tyranid alien things with different heads on them.
Yep.
So I could swap out the heads and swap out the bodies so I could pick which ones were normal units or which ones were HQs.
Yep.
So I laid them all out, assembly line style. I laid out the magnets. I drew dots on like the north pole of a magnet and the south pole was blank.
Yep.
Because if you ever glue in a magnet and you've drilled the hole deep enough, it's not coming back out.
Yeah, no.
You know? So,
Well, they can.
oh,
But I did that and I had to like dig it out with a scalpel
Oh,
and
no.
I just made a mess of it.
oh no.
I feel like, to be fair, like when it's on the model, you can't see it.
Yeah.
But you know behind that arm, it's just a crater.
Yeah,
like I
yep.
just chopped the fuck out
Gosh,
of
I
it.
hope they don't investigate, break down this miniature and investigate. Is that
Pulls up, like, what have you
what
done?
happened here? Shane, this is a 100 out of 100 painted mini. This is the most beautiful mini I've ever seen. Dare I say golden demon? Hang on a minute. What's all this? Slides off the arm gently. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm firing you from whatever job you have related to hobby. I'm not in hobby. And I'll see to it that you never are.
You'll never work in this
You'll
town
never
again.
You know who I am. You insult me with this. Yeah. The worst thing was I have felt like I'd over-prepared with those neurothropes.
Yeah.
Like I'd laid out all the magnets. I drilled the holes in perfectly. I glued everything in, popped it all in. I tested each magnet before I put it on to make sure it was actually the right one, even though I'd already drawn dots on it. Everything everything was going well. Slap it together, and none of the magnets are strong enough to hold the parts.
Oh, no.
And I boxed those up for, what was it? When did I whip them out? 2 years later?
Yeah,
Or was it
probably.
3?
Yeah. At least 2.
At least they sat in a box for 2 years because I was just so
That's
defeated.
how heartbroken you were.
And I never touched magnets again. So I just sort of went, it's just so much effort for what was so little reward.
Yeah.
I since super glued those dudes and played a game with them,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I've overcome that. So sometimes the hobby risks absolutely crush you.
Yeah.
Be
But you
prepared for
learned,
that.
dude. You
I
learned
did
from
learn.
it. So
I learned never
eventually.
to use magnets.
Yeah, okay. or eventually when you do use them
Yeah,
again
yeah.
in the future.
Use stronger ones. Maybe test them on one model first.
Can you double them up? Yeah, that's your biggest mistake there.
Yeah.
Doing all 20 of them or
Yeah,
whatever many you had.
definitely.
Can you double them up though? Can you like
Yeah.
push them in deeper and then you get
Yeah.
more strength out of it?
All depends on like where you're drilling into.
Yeah.
Because a lot of like I was drilling into the top of the body,
Yeah.
and I was very borderline with that one magnet just pushing through to the rest of the body.
Yeah,
So I
righto.
really only had a little space to work with. So yeah, a lot of the times you can double up,
Yeah.
and it's better to.
Yeah.
And I should have where I could have, but yeah. I think I'll just try and do stronger ones. No more eBay magnets for me.
Nah.
I'll go talk to people that have actually done magnets well.
Yeah.
I think Dave does magnets well.
Oh, yeah.
One of our patrons.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he actually showed me he magnetized all his tanks,
Oh yeah.
all the weapons on them.
Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah. And they look strong.
They
And
do.
tank pieces are heavier than little bug pieces.
yeah.
So
Yep.
I think I was just using the wrong magnets. Still to this day.
Yeah.
And now I've glued them all together, and I was like, why did I even do that? Like, I'm never going to swap it out. I've got 12. Anyways, I've got the units I need.
To be fair though, most people, if you say, "Hey, these are neurothropes, but I'm playing them as zoanthropes," they'll be fine with
Yeah,
it. Like,
yeah.
you don't need to magnetize it.
It's just like a big old spike on the back of their body, and
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I probably didn't need to. I think at that stage I was quite new to the hobby and
Yep.
spending, I think it was $90 for 3 dudes.
Yeah.
I was like, that's $30 a model.
Yeah.
I think that was probably the most crushing thing because when I failed, I'd failed on No, I don't know how many I had. 12 at that stage. 12 times 30 per model. Yeah,
it's too much.
too much.
Too much. What's is that all your current hobby risks that you've led up to? You reckon?
I think that's back when I was like taking a hobby risk, would fail and would be disheartened.
Yeah.
And then I would try and find no victory in it. I'd pack it up, put it away, and be done with it.
Yep.
That mentality shifted now where I'm like, okay, I failed big time.
Yep.
What could I have done to fail less?
Yeah.
Next time. Okay, I'll do one model first. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I just assumed magnets would work. Never assume. So many things can happen. Even
True.
paints. When I was using enamels, I was like, and I sprayed the thing with lacquer.
Yeah.
And then I read on it that it said, don't spray over water-based paints.
Yeah,
I was like, well, I just sprayed this over acrylics. What's going to happen?
To be fair, though, the whole can was in Japanese.
Yeah, I know. That's the one part I could read. I was like, well, I mean, I guess that's useful. And the instructions it had on it was quite strange.
What was up with that?
I got no idea. Couldn't tell you. I'll have to post the pictures of it in the Discord. It's good for a laugh.
It's actually hilarious. Like, you can't even decipher it.
Yeah, it was Mr. Hobby, by the way, for those wondering where I bought a Japanese can from. Just my
Mr.
local
Sparkle?
Mr. Sparkle. Yeah. Mr. Sheen. But yeah, now my mindset's changed. So even when I do fail, I'm not disheartened, but I'm encouraged because I'm like, well, next time I'll be better. Like
Yeah.
I've gotten better.
Yeah.
I'm one step closer to those heavy metal.
You've got the mentality of like, how can I learn from this?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
just like, oh, fuck it, I've just ruined $300 worth of models.
Yeah. Because in my head, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But in reality, no, I just super glue the models together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
here they are. I played with them the other weekend.
Yeah.
They're all good. They're actually fine.
True.
Yeah, I can't magnetize them now. Big whoop.
What's a hobby risk that you can see yourself taking soon, like in the next 6 months, let's say? By the end of the year, what's something now that you're terrified of doing, but you want to do or want to try?
You know what? I don't know if this counts. Maybe it does. But by the end of this year, I want to have a fully painted army. Now,
Okay.
I know that doesn't seem like a hobby risk, but for me, it's something I've never done.
Yep.
It's something that's going to cost me a lot of time, and I'm going to have to like sacrifice a lot to do it. Because
Yeah.
I'm going to see all these shiny, cool new things,
Oh, man.
like 9th edition. Oh my God, don't even talk to me. Don't even talk to me about that. And I'm going to have to put all that over to the side, and I'm going to have to keep meticulously working on this army
Yep.
until it's fully painted. And by the time I do that, I'm fully aware that it might not even be meta. It might be terrible. It might be the worst army in the game. But it's something I've never done. So it's not a risk in the terms of like I could mess it up. It's a risk that I could get caught in so many mental traps
Yeah.
of like failing. But I think what I'm doing now, I'm gonna do on the entire army. So like the enamel over the varnish and stripping away and
Yeah.
dirtying it up and putting on rot and rust and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's new to me. So see how that goes.
Yeah.
I've never painted a vehicle.
Oh.
I just thought about that the other day.
Wait, hang on. Harlequins.
Yeah, I barely painted those.
True. I guess you probably like undercoat or primed them and then maybe like airbrushed the stencils on, yeah?
Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's it. And that took me out of 3 years. For a long time, they sat at that set because I was worried about taking the stencil risk.
Yeah.
They just sat primed with that. It was like a really cool metallic
Yeah.
black.
I need to get more of that because you let me prime my Doom Scythe with that
Yeah.
black with the shiny in it.
Yeah.
I need to prime the rest of my vehicles
Yeah.
with it.
It's very cool. But I don't know if it's an acrylic. It's got a strange property to it, like a gloss.
Yeah.
So and this was another like hobby fail I had, was I put the stencil over it and primed, but the paint wouldn't stick
Right, okay.
because of and I think what I've learned since then, it was probably just because like I'd handled it so much.
Yeah.
Just the natural oils from my skin sat on top of the glossy kind of thing.
covered in like finger grease.
Yeah. And my dirty Mountain Dew Dorito fingers.
Hand gunk.
Hand gunk. Hand schmegma.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Oh, God. End of the episode. Oh, God. That was a hobby risk.
Everyone's having their like breakfast Monday morning listening to this,
Yeah,
man. And you're
yeah.
like talking about smegma.
They just turned the car around. They're like, no, I can't do work today. So, yeah, that was probably my biggest, like the only hobby risk I've taken
Yeah.
was probably airbrushing
Yeah.
in years 1 to 3. And it
True.
was very basic airbrushing. So, and I sold that army because I considered it in my mind a fail. I actually posted, guys, this is a project that needs rescuing. Good luck. Do I regret it? No, because stripping those would have been a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I do
So finicky.
regret not having Harlequins.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
That's for another day, though. That's for another day.
True.
So, yeah, in the lead up to this episode, I was thinking a ton about all the different risks and stuff that I've learned, and I was like encouraged to do more of it, branch out. What about you? What do you think what's the next thing you're going to try?
Oh, man, the next thing I am going to try will be I'm going to buy myself an airbrush. Has been this long without airbrushing. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a lie. I've airbrushed once. I airbrushed 4 orcs, the skin. That's it.
Hey, man. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
So, yeah, I'm going to get myself an airbrush.
Yep.
Probably just start with like a basic kit.
Yeah. Yeah.
The old cheap as chips one.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do it on, what models. Your guess is as good as mine. But that's definitely the next thing I need to do. Because then from there, like, there's just so much that you can learn. Like, you see all these amazing, like, miniature painters, like Scott the Miniature Maniac.
Yep.
Our mate Kenny Boucher
Oh, yeah.
on Next Level Painting. Is that
Yep.
his? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Like, they're just wizards with an airbrush, man. Like,
They're insane. Some of the stuff they do.
yeah.
And, like, it's hard for me to bring myself to spend the amount of time hand brushing a base coat
Yeah.
on a Mini
Yeah.
when I got the airbrush right there and I know I can just
Oh,
and I
man.
can do highlighting and everything in half an hour
Yep.
as opposed to, half an hour is probably going to get you one coat of your base,
That's right.
and then you got to do 2 coats and then, yeah. So I've found the airbrush, like even on my space walls and stuff, I tried contrast versus airbrush, and the airbrush was just so much quicker
Yeah.
and gives you these really cool highlights. There's a lot of risks involved,
True.
learning how the paint flows through it and speckling and spider webbing and pressure and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it is a whole nother game to learn. But what you can get with an airbrush is just phenomenal. Like, you sort of get those natural, like, if you've primed your model black, right?
Yeah.
And you're painting it blue.
Yeah.
You're going to get the natural shadows in the recesses anyway.
Yeah.
As long as you're going from you're not spraying it like a 360 degree, all the way around the Mini underneath from the top.
Yeah.
If you just stick to from the top, like almost like a zenithal,
Yeah.
you're going to get those natural
Yeah.
transition from like the bright blue, and it's going to, as the model sort of goes under the arm or whatever, it's going to get darker and darker. So you get those natural shadows,
Yeah.
which just takes it to that next level.
It's got that translucent property that like contrast has.
Yeah.
So it really shows through what's underneath. And you can just do so many different methods with an airbrush. So you can build it up to something that's really bright,
Yeah.
like almost too bright, and then throw a wash on it, and then boom, done. Or you can sort of like do the first few coats, wash over it, and then keep going.
Yeah.
Just to get in those recesses. Or, yeah, a lot of them you don't need a wash, like you
No.
said, that it does the recessing for you.
That's exactly right.
So, yeah, man, that's exciting. Well, hit me up if you need any help, because I'm not good, but I've done a bit now.
Yeah, man.
So,
Absolutely. Like, because you've had an airbrush for a long time.
Yeah.
Took
Took me a while to actually turn it on. Another hobby risk, but
Well, it's just all these things, like, they're just so, like, daunting. Like, because straight away you've got this model in your fingers is worth, like, the dollar figure just comes to your head straight away, right?
Totally.
Like, if it's a hero, it's like $60 plus.
ugh,
And you're like, with this one little chunk of plastic.
yeah.
Or if it's true.
Start hating yourself. You're
Yeah.
just like, why did I do this?
Yeah. Or you're like, you've spent hours on it and you're just doing those final touches. You're like, all right, I spent 4 hours on this one model. I've painted it up. Looks good.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to weather it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're like, one slip of the hand or
Yep.
like
A
something.
sneeze.
Yeah. You've just loaded, you brushed too much.
Yeah.
You hit it,
Yeah.
bam. And in your eyes, it's going to be ruined. Where most, like, a lot of people probably won't see that mistake. But you know it's there.
Totally.
And you're never going to forget it. And it's the first thing you're going to look at when you pick that model up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But then to grow, you have to take risks. Like,
Totally, man.
It's like, what do? You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. In the long run, you're going to be better off.
Yeah.
But it's just those first few mistakes, you're going to be like, why the fuck did I do that? Why
Yeah.
didn't I just keep staying at, the way I was, playing it safe?
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah.
And then I decided to make it worse.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. I'm so glad I noticed that I was stuck in just like fine. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Fine became good to me. And then I was forever looking at other people's models. I had to unfollow people on Instagram because they were like, the models they were doing were just so insane. I was like, I'll just never I'm not getting better. How do they do this stuff? I've got no idea. And it's because I never even tried.
Just makes you mad. It's like, why are you so good?
Yeah, why are you so good? Why am I still here after 3 years? My models all look the same, And it's because I didn't take those risks.
Those risks, man.
We encourage you, hobby homies, to try and take some big risks.
Yeah.
Maybe buy a box of something cheap, whatever, secondhand, strip it.
Yep.
Old models that you're like never going to touch, reprime them, whatever. Get your hands on something. Grab a handful of them and just say once a month, I'm going to go on YouTube and just try and find something. Something cool to try.
Like, there's just so much stuff that people do. Like, we're so lucky in this day and age to have the internet. Like, some of these old school hobbyists, the tricks that they learned was from word of mouth from people at their local shop.
Yeah.
Or they might read it in like a White Dwarf or something like that, right? Like,
totally.
But now, you couldn't watch all of the hobby videos on YouTube in your lifetime.
No
like,
way.
there's just that much. So you can pick and
tried.
choose. Oh, we tried. Oh, yeah, we tried. You can just pick and choose what you want. You can be like, oh, this person is painting this miniature with nothing but washes.
Yeah.
Or this person's painting with nothing but glazes. Or they're painting with nothing but an airbrush. Like, there's so many things that you can test yourself with and you can try. And like, you'll be like, I don't ever want to touch an airbrush. Fine.
Yeah.
Some people don't.
Yeah.
You can just stay with brushes, or you can be like, the less time I touch a paintbrush, the more time I touch an airbrush, the better.
Yeah.
And then you can go that route. Like,
if you're like, I just want to sit them all down on a table. Who was the Goober Town Minis? Painted like an army or something in 24 hours or 2,000 points or something stupid.
Yeah, man, that's just insane.
And like that got me looking at like using inks through an airbrush, because what he did, instead of a zenithal, he'd paint it all red and then would grab a black ink and then spray underneath.
Which is like a reverse
totally.
zenithal, maybe.
Yeah, never tried it. Looked great. Yeah, reverse zenithal. A renithal. Patented. Copyright that. Churchy, can you copyright that?
Yes, it is done.
There you go. What are we going to do with that?
He's not just a sound guy. He's also a lawyer.
He's our manager and lawyer. That's he edits out. He's sliding us notes in under the void. It's like redacted. Can't say that the last 2 minutes. Redacted. Offensive. Talk more about our sponsors.
The censorship ban. Bam.
Bam. Bam. Our episode is just cuts. It's like quick cuts of. It's not even about taking hobby risks. Just us saying hobby over and over again. Hobby. I watched an entire video of Shrek where they'd taken out everything except the letter E. So when people said the letter E,
what?
It's phenomenal. It's the best 7 minutes of footage you'll ever see. Yeah.
I love the ones where it's like every time it's like Shrek, but every time they say this, it speeds up by like 10% or something like that. And by the end of it, it's just like.
I saw a B movie of that.
Oh, yeah, the B movie. Yeah.
Everyone's in the B movie. Mikhail, one of our Discord peoples, one of our mods actually, sent me that video. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, so take a hobby risk, jump in our Discord.
Yeah, that's
slap
a risk.
it on our face. Yeah, that is a risk.
It's probably the biggest risk you'll ever take.
Yeah, maybe let's start something smaller, like hand sculpting a model. Then work your way up to jumping out of stone. Yeah, making your paints out of the blood of your enemies. Blood for the blood god. And then, build yourself up to jumping in our Discord.
Yeah.
Talking to us in there, show some pictures, share your risks, give us some challenges.
True.
I'd love to try some new stuff that I haven't heard of.
Yeah.
Haven't touched inks. Would love that.
Yeah.
People use pencils. People use graphite blocks.
Oh, yeah.
For aluminium.
What?
There's crazy stuff out there, man.
People are nuts, man.
Wild. I feel like they're just getting excuses to do weird stuff now.
Oh, yeah. Aren't they?
Like everyone else is just using contrast and airbrush. I'm going to use a building. Scrape my mini on it. Look at the great weathering effect you get from here. So, yeah.
True. Well, yeah, so that's some of the risks we've taken. We encourage you to take risks and to share them with us.
Yeah.
As always, you'll find us on fb.me/hobbyhomies. You can like and comment on our posts there. We try and post as often as we can about new things, giveaways, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Join the Discord, as Fox said earlier. Take some risks.
Yeah.
Jump in there.
Yeah. You can find our Discord by going to our Facebook.
Yeah.
There's a link for it in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, if you're like listening to this on something, I think our Discord is linked in the description.
In some. YouTube it is. So if you're listening to us on YouTube, just click the the thing down the bottom.
You're pointing.
Yeah.
They can't see you pointing down the
But
bottom.
it's YouTube. They can see that.
Yeah, he's pointing to his crotch. So click the thing.
Click it. Yeah, subscribe to YouTube, like, ring the bell thing, comment something. I don't know.
You'd be a terrible influencer. Speaking of influencer.
That's a risk.
Yeah. No, that's one I can safely say don't try. Did I see a little thing popped up on our email saying, welcome to Instagram?
Yeah, I saw one pop up from Germany, and I'm like, that's not us. So
Oh,
I
okay.
just made one.
Oh, you made one?
I made one, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
There you go. Hobby risk.
Someone entered our email from Germany. What's up with that? Anyway,
Wait, they hacked us?
maybe.
Oh, we're no longer hobby homies. We are now hobby homies.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag. Yeah, there you go. It was me.
Yeah, follow us on Spotify. Leave a 5-star review on iTunes. Both those things help a lot, more than you would know unless you're a podcaster.
Yeah, and if you are, hit us up.
Yeah. Check out Churchy on YouTube, releasing some phenomenal stuff. He's cracking that 1.5k subs.
Woo.
If not, he has already, maybe. I don't know.
It was just yesterday you were on a hungy.
Oh, yeah. I remember back when he was on 60
They
subscribers.
grow up so fast.
And a massive thank you to our Patreon. So, like, we really appreciate you guys as the listeners as well. Like, our Patreons help us take new risks, new things that we do, video content, live episodes, and stuff like that. Although we appreciate you guys just listening, you don't have to subscribe to Patreon. Although we would greatly appreciate it.
That'd be amazing.
$1 a month. You know, you're one of our homies. Jump in the Discord, you get a little badge.
Yeah.
$5 a month, you get a one-time shout out on the episode. Plus, you get plus both all Patreon tiers, you get early access to our content.
Yeah.
And you also get a $5 tier. You also get an automatic entry to a giveaway.
Mm.
And the same with a $10 tier. But $10 tier, you get a painted mini.
Yeah, man. It's all good. All good things.
All goodness.
I look at our rewards often and I'm like, but we're not making money from this. we spend so much on these minis.
I know.
Lets us take hobby risks though. That gets us better.
Yeah.
More content.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis.
Free minis for you guys.
Free minis for you.
Yeah. So massive thank you to Final Dinosaur, the OG from Belgium, Foggy Highway, our guru when it comes to painting minis. He's been doing it since the dawn of time.
The wise man himself.
His terrain.
Oh, your terrain, Foggy.
Yeah.
Woo.
Insane.
Came out of nowhere.
Insane. And Churchy, the man behind the magic and behind the void.
The
who does
lawyer.
our sound guy. And a lawyer, yeah.
Lawyer, manager,
Yep.
copyright artist.
Tournament organizer Dave. Thanks for doing all the tournament stuff there, encouraging us to play more games.
Yes. Big.
Wet palette enthusiast Rory.
Happy birthday.
He's the OG. Oh,
yesterday.
yeah. Happy birthday for yesterday, Rory.
Which will, when this is released, I don't know, probably be like 6 months ago. But happy birthday, Rory.
And shout out to Caitlin, the new hobbyist there.
The new.
Yeah.
So, something else I was going to say. I was like, make sure you mention this. We've got the GTO coming up, the Geelong Town Open.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to tell people to sign up because you can't. It's full. But come watch.
Yeah, true.
It's in Geelong. It'll be probably the first big 40K tournament in our little region since COVID. So that'll be dope. That'll be the first time people have 40K'd in a long time.
Yeah.
Unless you're in the league, the Geelong League. But this is a proper 2-day thing. So get down. It's on the corner of Seabright and
The Esplanade. Yeah.
The same place where the Summer Smash was from Throw the Dice.
Yeah.
Great venue. We'll be there. You can come see us.
Yeah.
Not that anyone would ever want to, but you'll know which ones we are, so you can avoid us and stand on the other corner of the room.
True.
We'll wear Hobby Homies t-shirts. Churchy, can we get Hobby Homies t-shirts?
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Done. Good manager.
Can we though? How long have we got? When is it?
Oof.
It's like next week.
Struth, what's the date today? It was the, what is it?
It's like the 5th of July or something.
Yeah, it's the, what is it, the 4th, 5th?
Yeah, we got time. We'll get some shirts made.
We can do it.
Yeah.
What do we got? Let's make it happen. Make it happen, Churchy.
I'll get right on that. Right away.
Thank you. So, yeah, it's there. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening.
I've been Fox.
And I am still Shane. I haven't changed.
Yeah, but you've also been Shane. You've been Shane. You've been Shane.
True.
You've been Shane.
True.
And I've been Fox.
And you've been Fox. He's been Churchy. And you've been listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. No, you didn't get to say that. Edit that one out. Damn it. We gave you too much power.
I'm going to get louder.
I'll peek it. I'll peek it. I'll peek it.